One positive story I always like to reflect upon during my time as a nurse is working with a person with a diagnosis of dementia who was just waiting to go home, but unfortunately was waiting for a package of care, and that's very commonplace with older adults in the NHS at the moment. She was very distressed. She was very upset about the situation. She didn't know where she was. She didn't know what was going on. She was getting quite concerned about her welfare. And there is a campaign at the moment for those who are carers for those with dementia, whether it be their next of kin, their parents, their sons and daughters, their other children, grandchildren, or just paid carers, to be able to come into the hospital at any given time and spend time with the service user. Now I noticed that this lady was really struggling in the hospital environment, but when her husband was there, she brightened up the room. She was lovely. She'd laugh and joke and dance. And she was so extroverted, whereas when she was on her own, she was just this small, vulnerable person, and she needed a partner to be with her. So I took it upon myself to sort of look up some of the initiatives that have been put out by the NHS and by carers themselves, and I came across John's campaign, which is basically a hospital initiative run by carers to ensure that people can go and visit their loved ones and their cared for people at any time. So I put this to my managers and I put this to the matrons, and they agreed with me, because unfortunately we do have hospital visiting hours quite often, which means family members and relatives are only able to come at certain times of the day. Whereas with this lady, we were able to extend that, open her husband up to come whenever he wanted to, and we also were able to offer him free meals. And what that did for that lady was so beneficial to her, and so beneficial to her individualised care, that it really struck a chord with me, and it made me feel very positive about what I do in my role. It made me feel like nursing is about the person and ensuring that you can give them the best possible care. And that felt like, to me, having her husband with her was all she wanted, and there is definitely room to adapt care and make it individualised, and that was probably one of my best moments in care.